All right. So, like, as you pull this thing forward, there's no difficulty on this or nothing, but, as you bring it forward, it doesn't seem like there's any sort of power associated with it. It seems really like it's just a complete, you know, it's just mundane. There's nothing special about it. But you do see some words written on the side of it, which I will take it to check because I don't know how to pronounce it. Let's see. I guess it would be like Aghak. Dzhashbh. There's Aghak.
Okay.
I'll look at it and try to read it out loud and see if it does anything.
No. Yeah, pronounce that. Pronounce that for us afterthought. Alright, yeah, no, it doesn't do anything. It's just, it looks like it's engraved into the orb itself. As you get a closer look, it looks like it's probably made out of aluminum or some more cheaper metal. Almost like it's more of just a trinket than anything.
I'll stick it in my pocket for Gadfly later.
Alright.
Run his tests just in case.
Alright. Joel, you can see the leader of this gang. He has his hand wrapped around Gadfly's bag, and he's kind of looking around. Are you going to be paying attention to him, or?
I notice him, but I'm paying attention to him, but I'm trying not to make it obvious that I'm paying attention to him.
Okay, so yeah, he's just thinking you're not paying attention or whatever. He gets up and you can see him out of the corner of your eye. He's kind of like taking a few steps real slowly, and then he runs down the side of the street, and he's like, pushing people out of the way and tipping over carts as he runs with Gadfly's bag.
Okay. So that's everyone, right? Except for the guy behind the truck?
Well, yeah, he kind of pulled his friend, his buddy over to the side behind some of the dumpsters and stuff, so he's out of sight. Whether he's still there or not, you'd have to go check, but he's not interested in fighting anymore, even if he is.
Okay.
So there's still the one who basically kind of surrendered. He's, sitting next to your feet, just a couple feet away, and the one guy who's unconscious next to Gadfly are the only two that's actually in the area.
Okay. Yeah, other than the guy who is basically surrendering, do we want to intimidate him so that he actually surrenders and then go on with our business?
Yeah. He holds his hands up. He's like, I don't want no trouble. And you can tell he's probably from Mexico or, somewhere from South America. He has a real thick accent.
Okay. Okay.
What do you guys want to do with him?
When he surrenders.
Oh, wait, no. Let's, I call Afterthought over here to, since he's the only conscious one left. To examine his mind.
Okay.
Or thoughts about the man and the orb.
Okay.
And where the man is, if he knows, or anything about them.
Okay. The guy in the alley is unconscious, right? He has head on the dumpster.
Yep.
Okay.
So bring him over too.
Okay, I'll drag him over to the sidewalk anyway.
Okay.
Out in the middle of the street. Alright, yeah, I'll walk up to this guy who's still conscious and say, open your mind so I can see what you know.
Alright, willpower is, I think, 3? Yeah, so difficulty 3.
Alright.
Alright, what are you looking to find out?
Anything he knows about the orb or the tall guy or any sort of street rumors associated with them.
Alright, so, he's... you kind of get this overall sensation that he's completely scared, so he's just like... Do you make it obvious that you're reading his mind?
Yeah, I told him that I was gonna, suck out his thoughts, pretty much.
Alright, so yeah, you can see everything. He basically trying to give you, anything that you ask. So, how about 3 questions? Ask him any 3 questions, and I'll give you an answer.
All right. What does he know about the star-faced man?
All right. You know, he basically tells you, I guess in mental capacity anyway, that he has not seen this person himself. He was working the streets one night, kind of, looking to do bad things, I guess. And he was confronted by this guy in an alley. All he could see was like the hands came out of the darkness and handed him this orb. And, when he looked at it and he tried to get a vision, all he could see was like the swirling mass of the guy's face. This astral projection was probably like 8 feet tall from where, this projection was from. And, after that, he had the orb for a little while. He said he gave it back to him, though, after he used it.
How did he use it?
Right. He told him that the tall man, he wanted to have information, or he wanted him to use it on the spine. Or actually, he doesn't call him that. He would be like Dr. Crimshaw. He needed to, electrocute Dr. Crimshaw, he said.
All right. Let's see. What would be another good question? How many others does he know who have gotten similar orbs?
He thinks my name's like only Padre, and he kind of points over to where the guy who ran away was. He's like, he's the only one who knew about this thing.
Wait, not the gang leader?
Yeah, that's the gang leader.
Oh, okay.
Anything else you want to know?
Oh, I thought that was 3 questions.
Well, but I'm just not, if there's anything else you were trying to get.
I'll
or, any
ask
further questions about that?
my comrades if they have anything else.
Ask him about what Roxy wants.
Oh, yeah. Why is Roxy so interested in these?
Yeah, and, he kind of looks over and he shakes his head. He's like, can't we just talk like normal people instead of you reading my mind, man?
I need the truth, not what you tell me is the truth.
Did he say that out loud? Can I say, of course not?
He eyeballs you. He's like, look, I'll tell you whatever you want to know. Just let me go.
I'll release my mental grip on him.
Okay. So yeah, Roxy?
Are you? No. Roxy, he's like, well, she's a bad apple, I don't really know what she wanted. She just needed something with Pedro, and she was talking to him, and, he said that he needed to find the orb, and then you guys showed up, and, I don't really know what she wants with it, but she's looking for somebody. She said that, somebody came in and, caused a lot of problems, and she's really pissed right now.
Do you know why that guy ran off? The guy that we dragged over here?
And he's like, kind of looks like, he's like, you talking about Juan, the guy who down the alley there? And he's like, well, he was going to go tell Roxy that you guys were here. He figured, you must be the ones who have the orb, and Pedro said you had the orb, and, looks like he stole your bag, but I don't know if you noticed he stole your bag.
Bag.
Oh, no.
I sort of dramatically walk around like, my bag is gone. Oh no, how could this have happened?
He kind of eyeballs you, and he's like, whatever, man. He's like, but, can I leave now, or are you guys going to take me in?
I'll leave that up to Joel.
They did attack us in the middle.
He's like, look, I gave you the information. He's like, come on, I won't say nothing. I'm just going to go home, and we'll call it even.
Okay, I'm gonna take a picture of him with my phone and ask him his name.
Name is going to be Gonzalez.
Gonzalez. I mean, I'm just
Oh,
gonna put a
geez.
name and picture
I
in
gotta come
my
up with a
phone
last
and then send
name?
it to the police. Like, watch out, this is a
Okay.
troublemaker type person. And then I'm gonna let him go.
Okay. All right. He's like, thank you. I won't cause any problems. If you need anything, you just come find me, and I'll try to help out what I can. Just let me be.
You have a cell phone? Okay.
Yeah.
Then, if you want to help us, give us your number.
All right. He's like, oh, okay, and he takes out his phone. He's like, so what's your number? And I'll send you a message.
No, give us your number.
All right. He kind of looks at you for a few minutes. He's like, all right. And he rattles off a few numbers for your contacts. And when you go to try back, his phone does ring. So he gave you the right number.
Okay, and then I'm fine with letting him go right now.
Okay.
Good. All right. Over in the alleyway, you can hear a garbage can tip over you. As you spin around to look, you can see that Pedro, who was headed out that way, he's running down the alley again, and he turns a corner.
Okay.
Or not Pedro, Juan,
Yeah.
I guess it would be.
Oh wait, the guy who had the okay.
Yep. The one afterthought stopped in the alley. As you turn around, he's running down the alleyway, and he goes around one of the corners, tipping over some garbage cans, and runs out of sight.
I'll say, well, at least we got this from him, and hold up the orb.
Are you touching the orb?
Well, telekinetically holding it in my hand.
Okay.
Hand that to Agent Yang immediately.
Or I'll give it to him reluctantly.
Responsible
Okay.
enough to use it.
Okay, I hold it in my hand.
All right. Yeah, it feels like a regular little baseball, pretty much. It's made out of some sort of cheap metal, like aluminum or copper or something. And it doesn't seem. It just has that. You see that same engraving on the side of it that Afterthought saw as well.
Okay, I just put it in a pocket, I guess.
Okay. Are you around to see that orb?
Yes.
Gadfly? All right. When you see that engraving on it, you all of a sudden get this flash, and you feel like somebody's standing beside you again, kind of placing their hands on your shoulders, and you get that vision of the tall man again. The tall guy with the black robe and the astrally type face, and it blinks for just a few seconds,
I
and then
go
it's gone
very
again.
pale for a moment, and then
Do we see it since we're mentally connected?
Probably not you, but I would say Afterthought would. You'd get. You wouldn't really see it, but you feel Gadfly's sudden
Panic.
fear or panic, and it just passes after a few seconds.
I'll look to him quick, you okay, buddy?
he came back.
That he?
Even without my suit, do I still have the power that I took from Joel Yang? I figure it's still running, but
Yeah.
it didn't really work at that finer part of my
I would say
my gimmick.
right. I would say so, yeah, because by the way your gimmick was working, you were basically injecting yourself with their blood or their essence or something. So
Okay, I just don't have the ability to get a new one until I get my back. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, when this guy was touching you, he didn't seem like he was harming you anyway, or he wasn't, being offensive anyway. It was just like he was taking your thoughts, or just conversing with you silently, I guess. He was obviously trying to do something. It didn't harm you in any way, though, and you're not, injured or mentally accosted or anything.
I'm not
like that.
sure if he's able to read my mind or not, even through the shield that I borrowed. You might want to start keeping secrets from me in the near future until this is resolved, because I might be compromised.
Alright, I'll carry on as usual.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. What do you guys want to do? You can continue looking for this Timmy fellow or Justin, whatever his name is. You do know that the one guy was headed to get Roxy.
Yeah.
And then you have your suits missing.
Yeah, we
Maybe
should go
track down that suit.
Yeah, I think that's the most pressing. Well, I mean, like, actually, wait, no. Because we want him to get back to his base before we track him down, right?
Right. I would say, yeah, probably. I'd probably need to activate the beacon or something like that, and I wouldn't be able to do that just with a smartphone or, you know, I don't keep a button that'll turn it on.
Okay.
To hope that it's not like absurdly deep underground or something like that. Most likely.
Probably not San Francisco.
Yeah.
All right, so we're waiting on the tracking.
Should we head back to base?
Well, we can split up. I mean, you can head back to base and activate the tracking, and Afterthought and I can go to Roxy.
Mm-hmm.
Because we know where Roxy is, right? She's at the warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, the guy that ran away, he would have been running in the direction of where she is, so it's pretty obvious.
Man, I can't even fly back to base. I have to take the bus or something.
No, you can take the car, because we're going to be on foot. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, in that case, I like, does anyone, like, I ask for Gadfly's jacket, I wrap the orb up in the jacket so he can't see it or touch it, so that, like, and then I give the wrapped up orb to Gadfly to take back to base.
Alright, cool.
And then, yeah, I guess, I mean, if you want to, you can go back to base and we can...
We'll go back to base. I'm supposed to just activate the beacon, but it's very likely I can't help myself, and I have to take the device and strap it to some things and run some tests on it. Just a few quick batteries tests.
Yeah.
Of course.
All right.
In that case, I tell you to keep the mental connection on, in case we need you immediately.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah.
Just don't interrupt my test.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let's see.
Oh, and I have more clips of ammo in my jacket, so I replenish.
Okay. Great.
Is your character carrying any lethal rounds
That
just
way
in case he needs them?
Probably one clip, but yeah.
Counting it down.
Go through that again.
All right then. Gadfly, what are you gonna do back at the lab? Start with you.
First things first, I do activate the beacon so that it sends a signal out, so I should be able to track it down, unless someone more knowledgeable than myself has disabled it, or you know that.
Nope. I figure probably like an app on your phone or something. You're able to like kick it on, and you know, it kind of every now and then it shows a little bleep of where it's at, and you know, it's working just fine like you had planned.
I'd love to run some kind of comparison on these devices, but they're really not metahuman objects, are they? They're sort of something else.
Both the bigger orb and the small one. Yeah. No, there's something else, but I mean, you can run some
if
tests
there's anything
on them
I can do to try to see how similar the two items are. And they are very similar in appearance, are they not?
Yeah, pretty much the same thing. It's just the smaller one looks like a miniature version of the larger one. Like the larger one's soccer size.
I have my own theories, but I would like to run some tests
baseball
on it to see if I can discern its purpose.
All right. what was your science? Yeah, I say your science at least partly works on this. So add your science in. And how about intellect? That'd be your knowledge.
All right.
Difficulty of 3.
Metahuman.
Oh,
Okay. So, and my science does kind of count. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I'll
9.
Yeah, his intellect is 8.
nice.
Yeah.
He's pretty formidable, even if he isn't too
Nice.
versed in whatever science he's doing.
Right.
Pretty
So
cool.
the smaller orb, it doesn't seem to have any sort of properties, anything magical or anything scientific, or it looks like it is just a completely mundane item. But it does have this signature on the side of it, and when you're messing around with the orb itself, the main one or whatever, anytime you come near it or anytime you run any of the tests on it or whatever, all you get back from it is the same name. This I'll retype it in the chat. That weird one.
That it reverberates the syllables that make up that word.
Yeah.
Right. This is the smaller orb, right?
Yep. It doesn't seem to have like any, properties or anything weird. It does look like it's just a completely little mundane aluminum ball of some sort. But whenever the two of them are next to each other or whatever, you just kind of like keep getting flashes of that name in your head or the sound of the name. And it's something like completely alien. Like you can't even really pronounce it or say it, but it just like you can hear it.
Okay.
It seems like the thing is like almost like a, I don't know how to explain it. Like something that if somebody used the orb or whatever, like they would have a copy of it almost. It's almost like a copy, but useless.
Okay. So it's a copy of the actual orb.
Mm-hmm. But it's like a useless one. It's like a fake proxy
It's
of
like
some
a
sort.
knockoff.
Yes, there we go. Basically a miniature knockoff of the orb itself.
Okay. Interesting. So okay. So it might not be a counterfeit, but it seems that way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I mean, it does resonate something with you who was affected by the real
There's
orb.
something,
so-
that something is kind of useless. It repeats that. It repeats that message. It repeats the message that's inscribed on the device.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Okay.
All right. Joel and Afterthought, what are you guys up to then?
We're going to outside the warehouse with where Roxy is supposed to be, and we're
Okay.
trying to follow whatever his name.
Juan?
Yeah, Juan.
All right. Yeah. It doesn't take Afterthought. You know how to get there from where you're at and stuff. So it only takes like maybe 10 minutes or so to get to our warehouse. When you get there, you can see like there's people standing all around on the outside. They all have like biker type vests on, and they have like a little rotten apple patch in the corner of their vest, and they're like kind of standing around the building. It looks like they're on watch or something. There's a few guys like welding up the front door, putting it back into place after you tore it off. And it's a pretty busy place at the moment. Every now and then you can see like Roxy step out for a moment and talk to somebody and then step back in.
Do we see Juan?
No.
Okay.
You do hear more people like talking inside the warehouse building as well, but from where you're at, you can't quite see in there.
Okay.
I'll ask Joel mentally, should I try to call Roxy out here, or
No.
what's the plan?
No, that's a no. Because I mean, like as a police officer and as a person, I don't want a direct confrontation with like Roxy and all of her men.
Yeah, around the outside, there's probably, I'd say, like 8 guys kind of standing around.
Yeah.
They're like, they look like they're on watch, basically. Every now and then, they're talking to each other and kind of goofing off, but they are watching.
Okay. So yeah.
All right,
Can I look around for like a back entrance? Like, yeah.
Yeah. Roll up an awareness. There's 8 guys kind of keeping watch. So, if you wanted to try and find one, you'd have to be moving around.
Yeah.
So do you want to, so actually I'm going to have you roll coordination to do it kind of stealthily first.
Okay.
There's 8 guys, so how about, difficulty of 5.
Okay.
You know, these guys, I mean, they're on watch. They are looking around, so even if they are kind of goofing off a little bit.
You have stealth though, right?
Oh, I do have stealth. That's right.
Yep, add that in.
There. Come on. Aha!
No, it's a success. So yeah, you're able to move, you know, kind of from building to building. Are you going with them, Afterthought?
Sure.
Sure. All right, I don't need you to roll. Yeah, you kind of move from place to place, and you're able to get around to the back side of the building. You can see that the large overhead doors, where it used to have trucks come in and drop stuff off or whatever the building was before, are wide open. And there, you know, there's a flurry of activity within. You know, there's people moving about. But there's definitely a back door. Nobody noticed you.
Okay.
One thing you do see though is like Roxy from where you're at. You can see like she's sitting at a table. And, you know, she's talking to a guy. There's a guy on her left who just wears, like, a heavy black trench coat, and he has, like, a witch's hat almost on. And he has, like, an eye patch over one eye. And then right next between the two of them, there's a little girl. She's dressed in, like, a really dirty pink dress. She has got, like, a pink bow in her hair. It's all torn up, and she looks like she's a, you know, really dirty street rat type kid. She's probably 9 or 10 years old.
Okay.
Afterthought, you will notice this girl is the same one that you saw back when you were meeting with Roxy the first time that kind of flashed in your mind.
That's
like she's trying to read your mind. It's the same girl. And, you know, as you guys are, you know, out there hiding amongst the places and getting a look, she does look in your direction, and you can see, like, as if she knows something's out there, she just kind of stands there and stares in your direction.
The kid or Roxy?
The kid.
The kid.
Okay. I'll tell Joel, that was the kid. I think that's the one who tried to get into my mind when I was in there earlier.
Yeah.
Be aware of her.
Well, I'm good.
Don't think too loudly in her direction.
Okay.
Let's see. What was your mental field there,
6
Joel?
for me.
6, okay.
Mental shield, yeah.
Okay. What do you guys want to do? Roxy and, you know, the guy that she's talking to, you know, they don't really pay much attention, but the girl just kind of stands there, her arms crossed, and she's just, like, staring at your direction.
Okay. I think for the moment I just want to keep an eye out for Juan.
Okay.
And for anything like an orb or... Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me up an awareness then. Difficulty of 2.
Okay. 0. Okay.
0. All right. So, you know, as you, like, peer around, you can see that Roxy has this orb. She does have, like, a very small one. It looks just like the one that Afterthought found in the alleyway that she holds out to the sky, and, you know, they're talking, and he takes it up and he's, like, puts it into his coat. I'll give you 1 point of determination, though, if you activate your bad luck. Or you can spend a point not to activate it.
No, I think I can activate my bad luck.
All right. Add in a point of determination. You know, the little girl, she's, like, pointing in your direction, and after Roxy hands this orb over, she turns around, and she, like, makes some hand signals. You don't hear, like, any voice or whatever. Then she turns back and kind of points in your direction. When she does, you know, you're peering, like, around the corner. What are you behind? Are you behind, like, a building or a dumpster or a car? What are you behind?
Probably a dumpster.
All right. So, yeah, as you're kind of, like, peering around, all of a sudden, like, this cat jumps out and it's, like, screeching from the corner as you step down its tail and, like, hauls ass down the alleyway. And, you know, in the... You know, the chaos of everything kind of going on, you jump back a little bit, and you're, like, standing right in the middle of the alley, like, right next to the dumpster.
Okay.
Gadfly, what do you want to do?
No. In good form, I interrupt the tense moment that they're having as they're being spotted, and I say, All right, I've done some research.
Oh, wait, mentally, or are you actually there now?
I'm driving. I guess to your location now.
Yeah.
But
All right.
this device, if my research is correct, is a counterfeit. Isn't that fascinating?
Okay.
Are you like talking on a phone or
No.
telepathic?
I'm talking and driving.
Okay.
And occasionally holding the phone out to look at the map application to see where my costume is.
All right.
And I'm
While you're driving?
Well,
there's coffee too, but I'm not holding it. I'm heading towards them because I know they're going to Roxy's. My costume can wait. I don't want to go and fight for my costume alone.
Without any powers.
Yeah. Well, I still got some kung fu, but you
That's
know.
true.
Yeah.
Super intelligent.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah.
All right. So, as you're talking to these guys, your phone starts ringing, and then you it brings up the contacts of who's calling. You see a picture of Dr. Crimshaw on the phone.
Oh God damn it.
And I'm going to tag your challenge of enemy with the spine.
All right, I'll take it. Can
Okay.
my determination go over the 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So it was 2, but now it's 3 again. So I
Okay.
that
All right. So, are you going to answer it or?
Yeah, I do.
All right. So he comes on the phone. He's like, "Hey, Dr. Marcel, how's it going?"
Dr. Crimshaw, how are things?
He's like, "It's wonderful. I have an associate here. He stopped in today, and I think he brought me your suit. You missed something?"
I have no idea what you're talking about.
All right. And as your phone flips back over to the app, you can see your beacon is blinking at the Crimshaw Medical Services building.
God,
I
no.
probably should have noticed that. I mean,
Thanks.
Uh,
So he's like,
well, that's strange. Wonder how that could happen. I was getting it dry cleaned. And
He's like, dry clean. That's great. He's like, so you still following this absurd idea of yours of stealing these mutants' powers? Is this what the suit is for?
this is the best way to conduct my research, and we have parted a long time ago.
He's like, well, I have much better technology than this piece of shit. He's like, how about you come down to my office? We'll work something out, and I'll help you out a little bit. I got some implants I can hook you up with. We can make you. I can hook you up.
Sir, you replace the spines of mortal men. I fly with gods. I hang up on him. And then I call him back. No, I send him a text message saying that I'll be picking up my costume shortly.
All right. Then he'll come back. He's like, he replies back. He's like, it'll be ready at 8 o'clock.
Thank you, Mr. Spine.
You get another little message back. It's $143.72. All right, so Joel, what do? You're standing out in the middle of this alleyway. You got the cat screeching, and the little girl's kind of pointing at you. Both Roxy and this other guy in the suit look in your direction. It's obviously that they see you, but you're probably a good 50 yards or so away. I mean, you're quite a distance
okay. They don't know me, right? They don't
Roxy did never get a look at you before, since Afterthought was causing such a ruckus and everything. So, no, there's nobody here that recognized you or that you really recognize yourself. You know who she is, obviously, but that's about it.
Okay. I'm going to walk up to them. like acting tough, like I'm like, sort of like a rough person myself, and I mentally keep afterthought away, like don't come out.
Okay. What are you wearing right now? You weren't wearing your actual like
No, I was like
outfit,
wearing
were
like
you? Were you
a
just like street
like
clothes?
a button-up shirt, a jacket, jeans, like a loose
Okay.
cut, like yeah, no, like yeah.
It's
Okay.
your
Something
Yeah,
is
casual.
your gun concealed or is it not?
My gun is concealed,
All right.
like the police will do.
All right, yeah. So as you start to walk up, you like see several. There's like 2 guards on each side of the overhead door, and they like bring their guns up. They don't point them at you or anything, but you can see they kind of like bring them up at the ready at their chest. And Roxy steps out. The guy that she's been talking with, he's got the big heavy trench coat and like a witch's hat on. And as you get a little bit closer, you can see like his face is actually covered by a bandana that kind of looks like a skull, except for his 2 eyes, and one has an eye patch over it. They just kind of stand there, and Roxy kind of holds out her hand to the guys, on each side of the door, not telling them, to put their guns down. She doesn't make anything to come towards you, but she like stands there waiting for you to do something, or what you're doing there. She just kind of stares you down.
I say, hey, I heard you're some competition for our men. The spine doesn't really appreciate competitors in the metahuman field.
All right, and she's, she looks at you. She's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Really? So a superhero didn't break down your door?
She looks back. She's like, and what if they did?
Well, killing superheroes is a spine's specialty, so... And he also wants to
And
know...
she's like, so you work for the spine?
Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. But I'm sure he wants to know why a superhero was here in the first place.
All right. How does your mental field thing there work?
Basically, any mental ability used against me gets -6. So if it's 0, then
So
it
you're
doesn't do
gonna add
anything.
that. Okay. I think breakdown. All right, you're gonna feel the smaller girl. She's gonna try and read your mind or try to do something. Her willpower is 7, so I guess I would treat it actually as a difficulty of 1.
Well,
then is that what it's doing?
It
basically?
depends on what her power level is. If it goes below 0, then it
Oh
doesn't.
shoot. Oh telepathy
Okay,
7. So basically
would
just
be
treating it as a
willpower,
1. Okay, so yeah, difficulty of 1 then for your willpower's save or whatever you want to call it.
Willpower's also really high,
Okay.
right?
No,
Five or
it's
something.
5, so
Yeah.
it's decent. Like, I don't have anything superhuman. Okay, so
Okay.
yeah. So 4.
What you got? 4. All right, so yeah, you can feel like something kind of probing at your mind, and then it kind of this way, and you see the girl like run over to Rox, and she kind of tugs on her jacket, and she makes some hand signals. And Roxy kind of looks up, and she's like, "You can block your mind pretty well there, Mister."
Yeah, the spine teaches his henchmen well. There are too many supers around this place to keep an open mind.
Oops.
She's like, all right, so you do work for the spine then, I see. He's like, well, how about you send a message to your boss then?
Oh?
And she's like, tell him I got the orb. If he wants it, he needs to come down here and get it. And, she thinks for a minute, she's like, $1 million.
$1 million? Just $1 million? Do you have any idea how...
Nope, she's just a minute. She's like, well, I'm not a greedy person. $1 million, that's more than I ever need. He can have it. That's petty change for him, right? I mean, he's a doctor. A superhuman doctor, for that matter.
So he should pay $1 million to get the orb in that guy's pocket, right?
She looks over, she's like, yeah, unless you want to try and take it from him.
I'm just a lowly henchman. I'm sure I wouldn't try anything. So, I'll go my way now. I'm sure you'll hear from the spine sooner or later. And then I walked back towards a different alley than the one I came out of.
All right.
Yeah.
So she's like, well, what about your friend there behind the dumpster? Does he work for the spine
He's
too?
just extra insurance. Some muscle that we paid some money for.
All right. She nods kind of with a smile. Afterthought, I'm gonna need a willpower save from you too. Now yours doesn't help you out anyway, does it? Your telepathy
Against other telepathy.
Yeah.
It says you are
Did
automatically
somehow,
aware when someone attempts to read your mind and may attempt to block the attempt. Both telepaths roll power tests, and the greater effort wins. But my telepathy and willpower are the same, so it'd be a 6 either way.
All right.
Yeah.
I guess this is the case where
Yep.
I roll 2 then. Okay. Difficulty 0, so just make comparison rolls. Ability 7. Difficulty 0. All right, so obviously you can feel that this girl's probing your mind, and after she does, she's able to kind of like break into a few thoughts. So, what is one secret that you have that she learns? And you can mark this down as a challenge.
My name is Johnny Swift.
Okay, does Roxy know that before or no?
Johnny Swift and Afterthought were the same person.
Okay, so basically she's going to know that they are the same person now?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good secret to...
All right, put that under your challenges that Roxy knows your alias or whatever you want to call it.
All right.
All right, you can kind of feel her poking around in your brain a little bit, but she kind of like fades away after a few moments. And Joel, you'll notice as you're walking away that the little girl's like making some hand signals to Roxy, and she nods as if to say okay.
Okay. Well, now they know that. Well, does Afterthought tell me this?
Do I know that she pulled that information?
Yeah, you're aware of it, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be like, Joel, she knows my name. She knows my name.
Okay. So I'm gonna guess that they know that that person is also Aftershock or Afterthought, so that they know that Afterthought was with me.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put my hand on my gun and walk away quickly.
All right. Are you doing it in a threatening manner or just
walking away?
okay? Gadfly,
Yo.
where are you headed, or what are you doing?
I guess I'm still planning to rendezvous with them. I have a date with the spine at 8 o'clock. I guess to pick up my costume.
Sounds like you're going to a Halloween party.
Yeah, probably exchange some mean words with him.
All right.
So yeah, still actually I might bring them along with me just because we haven't all had a meeting with the spine yet, so that might be.
All right. So you're picking them up in your car?
Yes.
All right. Why don't we take a quick break? I will save this, and then we'll